And, of course, that was the beautiful Mr. Keith Urban. We're going to call him Caboolture's own Aussie, Keith Urban there, with Kiss a Girl. And, of course, which girl out there, we know which girl out there would love a kiss from Keith Urban, don't we, Mr. Robinson?
Chelsea Basham.
Chelsea Basham, she just loves him. Now, earlier we were talking about the Queensland Champion of Champions, so we were going to come back and give you some results of those, because we have quite a few that have actually come from the Homestead Country Music Club, which is right here in the heart of Caboolture. I mean, seriously, it's just up the road here at the showgrounds, and we're talking about the junior duet. We have the overall winner there of Tori Summers and Kelsey Sweetman. Now, it's a bit of a team up there, because Tori was from the Homestead Country Music Club and the young Kelsey is from Redlands. Also from the Homestead/AICM was Jenny Cole and Angus Hearn. They actually got second in that one there. And Olivia Nolan and Talisha Young from AICM also took out the third there. But all the way through there, and as we actually get up to some of the bigger awards there, Melissa Partridge took out the Senior Academy of CM Scholarship for the Homestead Country Music Club. And, of course, we're not just talking about the Homestead one. We're talking AICM, which is up there at Gympie, Redlands, which is down south, Pioneer Valley, Broxburn took out some awards there, Bundaberg took out some awards, Redlands, all over the shop. Now, we're talking about one particular gentleman in mind here. The Senior Songwriter Award went to Justin Standley from the Bundaberg Country Music Club. Also from the same club, Justin Standley took out the Senior Male Vocal. Also took out the, what was the other one? The Seniors Champion, Justin Standley from Bundaberg. And joining us on the phone right now is the 2012 Champion of Champions, all the way from Bundaberg Country Music Club. Make welcome Justin Standley. How you going, Justin?
G'day, Tracy. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Well, is there anything you didn't take out on the weekend?
A few people have asked me that. Look, I was pretty overwhelmed with the response. I went in there just wanting to represent Bundaberg. I didn't go in there to walk away with awards, but was really happy that happened.
Oh, well, we need to know what songs, because you sing 2 songs in the final, don't you, there?
Yes.
What songs did you sing?
When I got picked for the final, I was really happy because I throughout the whole competition, I mean, a lot of people know my story from being on the X Factor, and so coming to the Queensland Champion of Champions, which is something I've been looking forward to since the Bundaberg Easter Roundup, I kind of felt like I almost had something to prove, because everyone had such high expectations of me.
The pressure, yeah.
With the pressure, but I got up there, and for the most part, all I did was play acoustic guitar and sing with no accompaniment, and I sang all original songs. And then in that final part, I sang another upbeat. It was a funny tongue-in-cheek yodeling number, and a bit of a retro classic with Freddie Fender's "Wasted Days and Wasted Nights," which was the only cover I ended up doing. And it was just such a fun experience.
Is this the first time you've been to the Champs?
It's the first time I've been to the Queensland Champion of Champions. I've always wanted to go. And, you know, I'm so happy I got to do it this time around.
It's a great crowd down there, isn't it? Everybody in the music industry, doesn't matter which club you come from or which town you come from, everyone is very, very welcoming, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was great going there because I was able to catch up with heaps of friends, you know, from all over Queensland, and some people from New South Wales as well. And of course make new friends as well, which is what always happens at those sort of events. But that one is particularly special.
So how long have you been on the festival circuit, Justin?
Well, I not really that long. I mean, I've always loved music, but I mean, I suppose it's a fairly interesting story. But like back in the early 2000s, about 2003, I sort of started to have a go at it, but. I mean, I always lacked a lot of confidence, and I kind of got a lot of knockbacks and said, you know, I couldn't sing, and I couldn't really, you know, maybe country music wasn't my thing, maybe I should think about something else. So initially I was really quite disheartened, but because I love country music so much, I just didn't give up, and I sort of tinkered away, and really when I was in Bundaberg, the last time I was up in Bundaberg, because I travel around a lot, and I thought, you know, I really want to have a go at doing country music festivals, and this is before I knew that my life was really about to change because of what happened on television. So I started doing, I thought, well, what better place to start than in my own hometown in Bundaberg, and but I had no idea that I was going to do so well, and I was kind of shocked to win the overall at Bundaberg, considering that was pretty much my first attempt. Years ago, I'd started doing the festival circuit, and I'd started to do all right, but I sort of drifted away from it. I guess I just wasn't ready for it.
So, sorry, go on, Darren.
And sometimes that's the case, isn't it? You know, you've got to wait until it could be a case of maturity, voice maturity, also presentation, and getting over those. Sometimes nerves can be the worst killer for some people.
Absolutely, and nerves were always pretty much a big killer for me. And I think one of the great things, particularly about Australian country music, is, one of the things that really blew me away, of course, at Champs, and it seems to be the case every year at different places that I've been to, the kids are just so incredibly talented. But the great thing is, with Australian country music, age isn't necessarily a barrier in Australian country music, because even though I'm in my 40s and I'm technically only starting out, it hasn't stopped me from really achieving things.
But you've had life experience, which is, and that's one thing that we've been talking to a lot of artists, and even to some previous Champion of Champions and even Star Maker people. I think it's about time. I'm big cheering for the how do I sort of say this without getting into trouble?
Mature age people.
Mature age, because last time I said mature age, Darren got me on thing live on air telling
you
someone, who was it? Telling them I was calling them an old fart or something, and I was not. But what I'm saying is, you've got different categories. If you go through the festivals, you've got the juveniles, and you've got the juniors, which goes up to around the 18 years old. Where do they go from there? Where I feel the very best cream of the crop, the best talent that we have in all of the world, really, is between the ages of, say, 18 and 50. In that age group there is when everything blossoms, everything grows, but where do they go from there? So it's so nice to see somebody that's not 16 or 17 taking out the Queensland Champion of Champions. Thank you, Justin Standley, for that.
Thanks so much.
There'll be a lot of people cheering, I can tell you. Just on that basis, we need someone with maturity that can actually do what they want to do, go where they go, and have some life experiences.
Yeah.
So we're from Champion of Champions. What does that mean to you, Justin? What are you going to do with that title?
Well, I mean, as you probably know, Champ sort of has fingers in a lot of different festivals and events. So as they sort of start coming up, I'm going to do my best to try and represent. I feel like I'm representing Queensland now. Initially, I thought I was just representing Bundaberg, but now... No,
you're a Queenslander. We've claimed you. That's it.
Yeah. So now, and that's what it's like. I feel so proud. That's the thing I love the most. And so that's what I'll be doing with the Queensland Champion of Champions. It does give people opportunities to go and and deliver their music and their gifts, and to promote country music in general. And I'm in a really fortunate position, because not only am I able to do that for Champs and to sort of promote local country music. It just so happened that between the time I took out the Bundaberg overall and the Queensland Champion, I had this whole other adventure that so out of left field. So I'm dragging with me a whole lot of other attention nationally into Australian country music, and I think it's it kind of is a bit overwhelming, but it's also really quite exciting at the same time.
And everything sort of to put sort of people out there, some of them may not know Justin Standley. We're going to call you the cowboy from X Factor, because we always called Kate Cook the cowgirl from Idol. So you're the cowboy from X Factor. So people go, oh, now we know him with the vibrato. Yes, that's the man we're talking about. So in the last 12 months, you've gone from this to winning there, X Factor, going there, and now you're Queensland champ. It's been a whirlwind ride. Like, I mean, have you put your feet on the ground yet?
No, it's still, like, it's been such an intense year. I could not ever have imagined or planned a year like this. And I must admit, I thought, I didn't really expect to do so well in the Queensland Champs, because it really is the best of the best going to Champs. And, but it just, things don't seem to be slowing down. And I'm happy to just go where it's taken me at the moment. And Champs is just another thing that's sort of just fallen into place for me. yeah, the timing is quite unbelievable, but it's pretty exciting stuff.
It is exciting. Now, we also have heard on, a little birdie has told us you're getting a CD organised.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's been really exciting too. I mean, I've always liked to write original songs, but I never really imagined people listening to them. And after one of my good mates who I met in Tamworth last year is Jason Owen. And of course, Jason Owen is still a contestant on the X Factor. And so we'd been sharing stories about, you know, country music and what we'd been doing, that sort of stuff. And he got me onto Lindsay Butler Studios in Tamworth, who I knew, of course, but sort of never imagined I would end up being signed to them or recording with them. And so that's happened. And it would just so happen that I was lucky that I left the show in the week that I did, because they had I think what my understanding is they had a cancellation of one of their artists' projects, and they were able to put me in, which is great because it means I'll be able to have an album ready for release in Tamworth this year. And the album has just come together so quickly and so beautifully. It's just all fallen into place extremely well. So I'm really excited about that, and also that out of all the songs that were suggested for the album, both covers and originals, and there were dozens and dozens of songs, most of the album was all of my own original material. They figured that was the best stuff to put on there, so I'm pretty stoked.
That's fantastic.
That's great news, and it's even better news that it's going to be available for Tamworth next year, which give you a nice launching pad for the new album. And we'll have to catch up with you when the first single comes out, and get an opportunity to share it with the listeners, because obviously what's happened with X Factor has been very big, but here at Tracy the Big D on a Thursday night, we try and focus on locals and the festival circuit and see what's going. So congratulations for winning Champion of Champions. It's a terrific award, and I must reiterate what Tracy said. I think it's terrific that we see a mature person getting there rather than giving someone to 16 or 17 because we think they've got terrific potential. This is someone with a voice and a story, and really a great opportunity. Yep. Yeah. We're going to go out tonight with.
Because we couldn't find anything of Justin Standley's, because you haven't recorded anything of your own music yet, have you?
What's down and nothing released yet? We mean.
No, I've never done any professional release.
What's happened at LBS will be coming out in January. So what we've done is we've done a bit of a tricky here,
and
we've
one of my favourite ones from the show.
We've borrowed one from the show. We thought we'd play Father and Son, your version of Father and Son here at 101.5 tonight.
Well, that's going to be on the CD. That's already been recorded.
Well, I'm glad you did, because it was probably one of your best performances that I enjoyed anyway on the show. So congratulations to that one there. And of course, congratulations 2012 Champions. That is a huge feather in your cap, and once again, Big D and I, a big thank you for getting out there and showing Australia what you've got.
Thank you very much.
You've been hiding it too long.
And we look forward to, we'll have a chat to you in the new year when you release the new first single, hey?
No worries, mate.